Why didn't I do that anyway? Why did I think I wanted... I thought I'd get enough off vamping. And I still think it's possible if I got the forest damage where I wanted it. Wait, what? Did I not switch to rogue? Nope. Alright. Thought I did. It's alright, we'll see where we end up. A silver pendant, what's that do? -4 damage from all vampires. I need to grab my phone, sorry. I just realized I didn't have it on me. Makes me nervous. Kiddo's not home. Nobody texted me. Did I fight a spider there? I must have. Maybe I didn't. I'm doing alright, Polka, you? Give me vampires. To go with that village. For fat gains. Come on, you can do it, game. Right here. I didn't spawn there. I was too close. Come on, game. You can do it. You're not gonna do it. You're a dick and I hate you. Excuse me while I switch to the class I wanted to play. I haven't played Necro in a while. We'll do Necro. We also haven't tried Necro with Arsenal. It's very good with Crypt though. That won't really be helpful for Necro, will it? Does that add to the skeleton's damage? I don't really care about the skeleton. Well, I mean a little bit. I hate all of these. I guess I take Oblivion just because of the boss. I want to see what Arsenal adds to the Necro, I guess. I'm fucking warrior again. I'm not fucking warrior. I just saw the warrior gear. Oh, you gain shield slot. That doesn't feel like the most valuable slot. Hanging coffee. How many things have I killed to get one fucking card? Holding up a shield and reading behind it? You can't see what I'm reading. Alright, well that's incredibly unlucky. Okay. Did anyone else do that in elementary school? They'd go in the library and we'd set up like really big books to make a wall, and then we'd sit and read our books and not let other kids in. That was the only time in school I was a cool kid. What we would actually do is we'd look at some weird like collection of national, it was like a book of National Geographic magazines, like the best of, and look at tits. Second grade was tight. Hate reading, love tits. Holy slime spawns, Batman. That actually sounds like something Robin would say. Holy slime spawns, Batman. Love reading? Gross. Next you're gonna say you like math. Do we really have that much bullying in school? It depends on the school. Like, my school didn't have a lot of bullying. Though my school had a lot of fighting. Not like a crazy amount. But I think more than the average school. Just fist fights though, nobody getting like hurt. Yeah, I mean there was a couple of kids that got it, I mean a little bit worse than others, but it wasn't anything crazy. But yes, I do believe there are some areas, and I've heard some real bad shit from, especially from people here on Twitch, other streamers and stuff, at how bad they got bullied. You get stabbed with a screwdriver? I mean... At least it wasn't a knife, you know? Probably stabbed in the ass. That is the British way. I heard you guys had a whole, like, issue of people stabbing each other in the ass. It's the safest spot to stab somebody. So the less likely you're gonna get in huge trouble. But still give them a good fuck you. I find it hilarious. You got bullied that hard over 4 fingers? That seems like such a weird thing to bully someone over. It's not even that big of a fucking deal. All of the Simpsons had 4 fingers. I think the only kids I know that got bullied in our school were just, they were obnoxious. Like, just facts, you know? Usually because of some learning disability or something along those lines, but they were just obnoxious. And when you're young, you aren't very good at recognizing the why. Just the, why the fuck won't you shut up? I think that'll be long enough. It might not. Damn it. It won't be. Not even close. Well, it was. Yeah, my daughter's in 2nd grade. She said one kid that's kind of a bully already. But the majority of the times kids get their feelings hurt in elementary. It's kids just not understanding that's like, that it's mean, you know? They're not doing it on purpose, which those two things are very different. They can both hurt your feelings, but they're very different. Parents not teaching them? It can be hard to teach everything though, Furious, dude. Like, you know, like racial stuff, especially in my small town. Like, it's, you know, I've said many times I didn't meet my first Asian until I was an adult. That's so much. 3 times loop too, huh? I mean, I gotta take that one early. I remember one specifically with my daughter where she was accidentally mean. Luckily, the girl didn't hear her, and neither did the girl's mom. but my daughter called her crazy. And I was like, Alice, you can't say that about somebody. And then the little girl turned around and tried to say hi to Alice, but it was just gibberish. And she just had a really, really bad speech problem. So everything she said just came out as you couldn't understand it. And Alice looked at me and said, see? So I had to explain that one to Alice. Dark and scary? Yeah, I mean, Alice was very young. She had never met a black man. And she did call Darius dark and scary. He wasn't even black. I don't think he's black. I think he's like... I don't remember what his ethnicity is. Just unfamiliar, though. Like I said, those things, you know, it can be hard to teach your kid. Oh, by the way, young 2-year-old child, let me tell you about race. I hope Darius as well, too. Yeah, I mean, like, there's still a lot of that going on today, like all this stuff, people talking about Dr. Seuss books and stuff getting banned, and like I know it's just idiots that are mad about it for the most part, but like that's the point, right? It's not about deleting them from history, it's about recognizing the fact that those books for kids, you know, that one of them in particular I've read to Alice, and I remember going, Jesus Christ, where they call the God, what has he said? It's something along the lines of, with basically referencing the slant eyes of the Asian man in the Dr. Seuss book. And like, yeah, man, like that was the way people were people wrote and spoke, but it's different to let an adult read that and them to recognize, hey, this book was wrote in the 40s, compared to letting a kid read it and them not have any idea that that's not the way we write anymore. Because they just removed some Disney movies too for the same thing. Like, they removed it from the kids specific channel for the same reason, right? Like, it's not about deleting them from history, it's about hey, some parents don't want their kid to just jump in and watch old Disney that's sketchy. I'd rather make sure I was there to explain to her when that shit comes up, like, hey, don't ever do that. That's not okay. I like having those talks with Alice now, though, that she's 8 years old. It's interesting to see. My parents never talked to me about any of that shit growing up. But it's interesting to see how she responds to it. Ooh, shields with summon quality make shields way more valuable. I made the joke on Twitter too, and I know it's not necessarily a topic worth joking about, but Dr. Seuss's first book is called The Pocket Book of Boners. And it has nothing to do with dicks. It has to do with blunders, which is what they used to say boner for blunder. Nobody speaks like that anymore either. You don't see that book on the shelves in bookstores and in libraries, and if your kid came home with a pocket book of boners, you'd be like, what the fuck are you reading? Most of my boners end in blunder. But a lot of people just don't want things to ever change. Change is scary. I'm so sick of reading about canceling. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. Everybody just wants an excuse to be angry. That's the reality. So they want to scream and yell about cancel culture. That's some really good summon qualities, really. Right? Imagine if people were canceled. I know, dude. I know that it's been said a million times, but it is. It's just fucking consequences, and it's... they should exist, and they don't. For a lot of people. The Dr. Seuss one's a little different, because I really, you know... not trying to, like... pretend like I know anything about Dr. Seuss, but I will say the stuff that's in those books, again, fits with the timeline. It fits with the period of time. It doesn't... it's not pushing the boundaries of it. And the two are very different. I don't fault anyone for not knowing they're wrong. I fault somebody for being told they're wrong or seeing that they're wrong and not wanting to change, right? And in fact, yeah, a lot of them are excellent children's books. The funny one is, like, we had a coffee shop forever around here called Beaners. It changed its name, like, I don't know, 10 plus years ago. Nobody fucking screamed on Facebook about cancel culture then. They just realized, like, yo, dog, Beaners is a bad name for a coffee shop. And then they changed it. Oh, fuck, that spawned. I thought I had one more play. They're not even canceled. They're just not being published too, right? Like they're not being burned. They're not being removed from school. Maybe some schools are choosing to remove them. That's their fucking choice, though. But they're not being forced to be removed from libraries. They're just not being printed anymore. And neither are like 30 other Dr. Seuss books just because they aren't popular. And neither are lots of popular books just because they're old. But it's very interesting. This seems like it could be pretty good with how much attack speed I'm going to get from forests. We haven't tested it yet. Until people realized they were kind of fucked up. Hey, you know, it depends. Like Dr. Seuss, it's funny enough that I saw all this shit about Dr. Seuss. Literally, it was like on Dr. Seuss's birthday. And I'm doing a project from the school on Dr. Seuss, as you usually do on Dr. Seuss's birthday. But meanwhile, everyone is posting that Dr. Seuss was canceled. And I'm like, the meme that was going around was the Wet Ass Pussy is the song of the year, and Dr. Seuss is canceled. But you know, in school, I'm doing a project on Dr. Seuss, not Wet Ass Pussy, unfortunately. We're all, I think, for the 22 months. The problem is that I see people saying it that aren't even conservative, Holly. They're just confused by the by the misinformation. The Three Stooges? I had a teacher who was obsessed with the Three Stooges and fucking John Wayne. And everything he said was either something to do with the Three Stooges or John Wayne. It was absurd. Like, he was in the worst character ever. Everyone hated him because he was so weird. Called everyone little doggies. Come on, little doggies. In a John Wayne voice. I cadetted it for him because I thought it was funny for a while until it got real old. Creepy, yeah. He was a weird old man. I had, like, my school, I've even talked to some of my, because my daughter goes to the same school I did, and I've even talked to some of my, or her teachers about it. Like, my school was at that, like, worst point with tenure, that, like, all my teachers were just these super old, outdated, been teaching forever. We had, like, nobody below 50 teaching. And a bunch of teachers above like 70 still teaching. He turned out to be a serial killer? No. He did get caught fucking another teacher on a senior trip by, by that teacher's kids and classmates, and then married her, and they both taught at the school, so that was really weird. And their kids had to do one more year with you know, that lingering. Hardcore thing for the 32 months. We had a student-teacher relationship in my school too, which really sucked. That I still feel bad for that girl, man. She basically just got pushed out of school. There's no recovery from that one with kids as mean as they are. The funny part is he wasn't cool at all. I have no idea how that man got laid ever. And she was kind of hot. Maybe he was smooth. She must really like the Three Stooges and John Wayne quotes. Do you think he makes the Three Stooge noise in bed? I bet he did. When he comes. Oh, I hate that I'm thinking about it. I think she was just kind of a hoe. She wrote me this really long letter when I dropped out of high school. That was like, I don't know. It always, I always wish I would have followed up on it. Let's just put it that way. With her address and phone number and everything in it. If I ever needed anything. All three were at the same school. We had a few teachers date kids' moms and dads and stuff too, and that's super fucking awkward. I would flip shit. Lady still teaches? That's horrible. There's unfortunately the cool teachers that can get away with bad shit too. One of our art teachers was a real she was a real druggie. And like looking back on it now, I pray that shit doesn't exist in that school ever again, but when I was a teenager, it was cool to go over to her house and smoke pot with her. Not that I'm like anti-pot or anything, just I'm anti-adults, you know, partaking in drugs with teenagers. Grooming? Kinda, yeah. I mean, she never did anything like that. More just like wanted friends. She just wanted a smoke circle, and apparently couldn't find one her own age. God, that was the best part about weed. When it was a whole deal, you know? Everybody had like a place, a job. The guy who would break up the bud, the guy who would roll. It is much harder being social if you aren't a drinker smoker. As a 32-year sober man. I've smoked weed a few times, like very few though. But never drank. And the drinking especially was way harder than this not smoking pot one. That one's still hard, even at 32. There's so many days where I think about just starting to drink. Oh yeah, I don't have those anymore. Drinking alone is no fun. I mean, that's not the reason to start to drink, right? That's exactly the point to start. Because I thought you were going to narc on him 40? That's really funny. Were you going to narc on him, though? Like, you can tell us. He was going to narc, chat. Try everything with 35 months. So my dad, the big part of the reason I don't drink is my dad was a drunk, right? But my dad still calls, like every time something really shitty happens in my life, my divorce or whatever, you know, he still calls. You're not gonna drink, are you? No, Dad. My mom's kind of the opposite. She just still, every once in a while, assumes I've started drinking. Every time I have a bad attitude or disappear from the face of the earth. Mom thinks you started drinking. Tonight's your drinking night. Enjoy. I really don't have... I don't like alcohol because I don't like the way that it's like celebrated, right? Like it is frustrating to me that it's so popularized. But I got nothing against anyone who can drink casually. I really don't. It's been difficult, not just because, like, you know, the social aspect of drinking with your friends, but people think I immediately look down on them because they drink. When in reality, I don't drink because I know I would be an alcoholic. 100%. Thumb Dog, thank you for the raid. How was your night? Did you win more Valorant? You were owning. That game with Hafu was quite good. Made me wish I could shoot. You played until you lost? Wow, that's pretty good. I don't know how I'm going to approach this. There's no way I'm ready for this second boss yet. But we're already on loop 4, and loop 5 comes hot and heavy. I guess we finish this loop out and then all in for the... I have an idea. It's a bad idea, I think. I used to be really good at console FPS. I'm not one to brag, but I used to be real good. But man, I just can't pick up PC shooters, and I regret not starting sooner. Now I'm just stuck looping for the rest of my life. What's my summon quality at? Only 48%. Even with 66 attack speed, skeletons still are slow. I need a third summon. I'm afraid I'm gonna spawn the boss. I wish I could like zoom in on this. Did dog finish this too? I know I'm a bit behind everybody. I'm mad. I waited for this game for months, and then, of course, the first 3 or 4 days I haven't been able to stream a ton. Always exclusive starting? Okay. A different mode? Nope, different class. This is the 4th chapter. You have to beat all the bosses, it looks like. I've only ever had one game give me motion sickness. I don't remember what it was. It was a really weird indie game. But it had these like weird lines on the wall and floor, and they made me very motion sick. I got it once on a boat, but it was like horrible weather. Never heard of Chex Quest. I don't think it was that. No, it was some... I don't think it ever went anywhere. It was some roguelike FPS that wasn't very good. It was very early in it. No, no, nothing. No, I've never witnessed any kind of motion sickness like Justin has, except when Justin did it. I get a big heal there. I think it might have been Paranautical. I can't remember though. Man, we were getting our ass whooped. I need a third skeleton. Yeah, we die now. No way we get past those goblins. Yeah, goblins attack so fast. They're like one of the worst for the necro. I can oblivion that necro. Oh, double oblivion. Oblivion that goblin fight. Take a heal and hope. If I can even survive this fight. Yeah. Goodbye, cruel world. Yeah, only having 2 skeletons sucks because I can't get the tank ever. Yeah, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Subs and stuff. I love you. See you probably tomorrow.